Welcome back. Couple things to begin with. Last video I had you do a more complicated utility method that got a character. A lot of the protections, like these if statements and stuff, and all the extraneous stuff required to use them, is unnecessary. It was there before to make sure that input.next did not return a zero length string, but input.next can't return a zero length string. And so without all that, it should just look like this. If you have the previous one, there's nothing wrong with it. It still works. It just has protections for an event that can't happen. Anyway, this is probably simpler to easy to understand. Just grab the first character of the next thing they typed in, forced to uppercase. This char at 0 is safe because input.next will not work until they type in something greater than length 0, so guaranteed to have at least one character. And while the result they put in, converted to a string, is not contained inside the allowed characters that you pass in, you tell them that's not an option, and then just make them re-enter in a character until they put in an allowed one, and then return the result. Another utility method, which we're going to be using today, is this getNum, which requires them to return a number between the minimum and the maximum. You tell them to enter a number, start it at something ridiculous that will never be in the allowed range. This is like 2 billion or something, I'm assuming, like the actual max value for an integer. And then while their number is out of range, while it's less than the minimum value you want or greater than the max, you get them to keep choosing. This while loop hopefully is familiar. While they have not successfully entered an int, tell them that's not a number, and then get them to choose, then get rid of the thing in the buffer that they put in, and then get them to choose again. If they ever make it to this line, that must mean they have entered in a number. And then you can have this little message here. So if it is out of range, tell them that's not an allowed value, otherwise this doesn't trigger. If they ever do enter in an int that is between min and max, this will become false, and then you just return it. So that's how you always get a number in the allowed values. So we'll need that today. I also have a pause method, which I am hoping to use today. And you just give it a number of seconds, and it will pause the program for that long. But you need to use exception handling, which I have not taught you, nor will I, until app development. So you can just copy this down. All right, so today we're going to try and make a shop class. So let's go along with that. First, we're going to work our little thing here and get into the main kind of game loop, like kind of a town system. So we're going to have like a town intro where it just says like what their options are, where they're at. I'm putting in a separate method just to make that happen. I'm going to say, well, or no, I'm just going to have some print lines. Welcome to the town. And then what would you like to do? Oops. And then we'll give them some options. I'm going to be using the \t thing, which is just tabbing in. And I'm going to say, hey, do you want to go to the weapon shop? Or do you want to go to the armor shop? Oops. And we'll make this A. And yeah, that's good for the moment. So we'll put this in a while loop. Oh, And we will also probably want to have a static player object so we can access it from any method in main. And we will want to initialize it down here. So we will say, hey, player equals a new player with the name. And then we've got a character set up, because remember, it'll jump back to player, use the constructor here, and then we'll have a character. So if we get back to main, I'll put this town intro business inside a while, maybe player dot get. Oh, we don't have any getters. I'll just put in a while true loop for now. So it'll always print out the town intro, and then I'm going to have a switch statement. And we're going to switch based on whatever character they put in. I'm going to use my getChar method, and for the moment, the only characters they're allowed to put in are the weapon and armor shop. I'll add more later, but that's it for now. And then case they put in a W, I want to do the weapon shop, which I'll have maybe in a method. Maybe I'll get back to that. For now, I got to build a shop class and make all this work. But before that, maybe I'll go to weapons, and I feel this is a pretty good place to put the inventory. So I will put my shop's inventory in here. So I'm going to make a public static method that returns a weapon array, and this is just going to be my shop's inventory, and I'm going to call it like get weapon inventory or whatever for the weapon shop. And then I'm just going to like make a big array. I'm going to return a new weapon array, and I'm just going to put some stuff in there. I'm going to have a new weapon, and I need to give it a name, so it'll be like a wooden sword, maybe a Bakken. I'll get all like Japanese here. It's a wooden practice sword. If you're wondering quality, I will make this 10, and it will cost, I don't know, 30. And then, oh, I need commas between them, because this is an array. This could all be in one line. So notice I've got made the new weapon array. I've got the open curly bracket, and then I'm just going to put all the contents of my array separated by commas. And let's say we've got a, I don't know, bronze sword. And that'll be like quality 15 or something, and it'll cost, I don't know, 80. So you just make it up. When you're playing your game, you can balance it. And I'll do one more just for fun. So you get the gist, and this will be, I don't know, cutlass. Maybe I could make it an axe, whatever. This will be a 22 and cost 200 or something. And then at the end here, I need a semicolon, because this basically could all be in one line. And I've got my weapon shop's inventory. Now I'm going to need a new class, because I'm going to have both a weapon shop and an armor shop, and they're going to function virtually the same. So I may as well make that be an object. And then if I want to add like some other bit of equipment for my hero, I can easily do that later. So I'm going to make a little shop class, and I'm going to say the things that differentiate between shops are the intro string, so like welcome to the weapon shop, welcome to the armor shop. Intro, and I also need to have the inventory. And that will be, this is a little tricky because weapon and armor are different. So I'm going to jump. I'm going to get a little fancy here. I'm going to make a interface. Oh. And it's just going to be an item interface. You can jump to the interface thing if you want, and I'm just going to say all items have a get cost method. So I'm going to do like public int get cost, and then just int get cost, and that's enough. So it's just saying I can make both of these my armor class. I can say that implements item, and I can do the same thing for weapon. I can also say that implements item. You could also do this with the superclass, because honestly, I could have had these both descended from a superclass if you look at the superclasses subclasses method. Or alternatively, these could be the same thing. I mean, they have basically the same things. We could just call them items. So that might be a better way to do this in this particular case, unless you're going to branch off more significantly with armor and weapons. Anyway, I've got this interface though, and so in my shop, I can say it returns an item array. And then I can change my weapon shop, this thing here, I can make that a item array. And that'll be fine because now I've said that weapons are items. So that is fine, and they're guaranteed to have a get cost method. And everything has a toString method. So in the shop, I will stop for now. To be continued.